Is this not America? Is baseball not America's favorite pastime?
They're back!
Coming to you more alive than dead from the Beer to Whiskey Studios on the taproom floor of the Greenville Beer Exchange, or GBX, as the cool kids call it, on the expansive block and a half of South Lawrence Street in glorious downtown. Excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
In glorious downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Old Guys and Old Movies. And that's where I get together with my good buddy, maybe not so good buddy after the last review we did, but my good buddy, Big John Richards, and we pick a movie, and John picks a beer, pairs a beer with it. So this week, this version of Old Guys and Old Movies was one of John's picks, but as it turns out, this is one of those things where the Venn diagram overlaps, and not only do John and I both like this movie, we both are of the opinion that it may be the best sports movie of all time.
I was pleased, first of all, just now to learn that we are finally more alive than dead.
Bring out your dead. Here's one. Ninepence. I'm not dead.
And second, I was very pleased to find out last night, we started this movie up and we were 3 minutes into the movie, and Russ goes, "This may be my favorite sports movie of all time." And I said, "This is my favorite sports movie of all time."
One of the things that makes it wonderful is the storytelling. You bounce around present and past, present and past, present and past. But it isn't a dizzying effect. There's always a reason
Yeah.
why they go
I
back.
even made the comment last night, and I don't think I really paid attention that when they bounce from a flashback back to because it's all centered around one baseball game.
Yep.
And they flash back to the baseball game, the emotions he's pitching with are the emotions that he has just been thinking about. And it's really cool.
Sam Raimi is the director.
Raimi.
What'd he say? Get out of here.
Raimi.
If you're scoring at home.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. I feel like I just made a big declaration. I don't know the guy.
But he's directed a lot of good stuff.
Most famously, Evil Dead.
You don't understand. There was something in the woods, and I think it's in here.
Was his big breakthrough, first movie in 1981, and then Evil Dead 2, of course, and a bunch of other horror stuff now, and he's got a Spider-Man to his credit, and
yeah.
But Evil Dead was the movie he really got famous for.
He's an outstanding storyteller, and it
Yeah.
really, I think he was at the top of his craft in this, and came out in 1999, but it is such a terrific.
Well, we talked about even how much the visual storytelling is good in this thing, because you get to Kelly Preston's house, and it is, there's a basket over the freaking sink that's got potatoes and garlic in it, and I'm like, hey, who does that?
Yeah,
like they kitted this house out, and it looks like somebody lives there. It's
Right.
impressive.
Right. So while you're pouring that, let me just run through the big names
It's
in the
a pretty
cast.
impressive cast too.
So Kevin Costner.
Before you even continue, I want to just say that Kevin Costner has 3 of the 5 best baseball movies of all time. So carry on. We'll get to that.
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But I guess we'll wait. We'll pick that up
Yeah.
a little later. But Kevin Costner, Kelly Preston, who gets a lot of grief for not maybe emoting enough emotion, but I thought she did a great job in this film. Jenna Malone, that name probably doesn't mean anything to you.
It might these days. She's gotten some other fun roles, but I don't know if anybody knew who she was when this movie came out.
Yeah, and I pointed her out to John last night when she first appeared on camera, and I said, she's in the Hunger Games movies, and she's the one who strips naked in the elevator in front of Jennifer Lawrence's character in, I think, the very first Hunger Games movie. But anyway, Jenna Malone, Brian Cox, who's a character actor, basically, somebody you would recognize. John C. Reilly is one of those sort of A-, I would say, list stars who never really carries a movie on his own, but he's often the second banana or a co-star with somebody. And
everything he touches is gold.
Yeah.
He gets a free pass specifically for this movie from a famous Big John free pass. I will watch anything that John C. Reilly does.
Yeah.
Specifically because of how good he was in this
And
movie.
he is outstanding in this movie. J.K. Simmons. Nobody knew who this guy was up until about, 6-7 years ago, really. But just a brilliant actor.
Vince Scully's the primary announcer, and can't think of his color guy's name. They're both actual baseball announcers, and for some reason,
Steve Lyons.
That's it. His name was escaping me. And Vince Scully is the voice of baseball, if it's not Bob Uecker.
And that's pretty much the cast. There are a lot of other people, but those are the bigger players in the thing.
So we pair beers with movies here too, and I decided to pair a beer with this movie based on how big of a treat the movie is. So I picked us a treat of a beer here, a Pohjala Stout from Estonia.
Is this one yours? No. This one? No.
It's an Imperial Stout with truffles.
And why wouldn't you put truffles in an Imperial Stout?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
absolutely.
Come on.
Somebody should have been doing this a long time ago.
That was it. Somebody looked around and said, holy cow, I can't find an Imperial Stout with a truffle in it.
Right?
Here it is.
And these guys do these big beers that are so good. So I'm excited to at least have a sip here before we get too much farther into what we're doing.
Text Miss Lily.
Well, the nose isn't even all that big on this.
It's not.
I get more if I swirl it a little bit like that. Ooh, that is a dark beer. Whoa. Ooh, baby. That is a big, dark beer. That is fantastic. It's got that. The truffle, cocoa, earthy, funky thing that you get out of a real truffle. Oh my God. Ooh, that just hits it.
And I'm not a fan of truffles, which should not shock anybody. But whatever it adds to this, it all works out
There's
pretty
a
good.
big roasty note from the stout in this thing too.
Yep.
And a cocoa-y thing along the bottom edge of it. It's a really well put together beer.
What's the ABV?
10%.
Are you kidding me?
You never know.
No,
You
not even
never
a
know
little
it's
bit.
sipping it.
Yep. So good. Sneaks up on you. Sort of like For Love of the Game does.
Exactly. Back to you, Uncle Russ. All right, here we go. This is such a tough movie to really describe.
Yeah.
It's something you've almost got to see. The storytelling, as we've said, is just absolutely brilliant. But it really takes place in what is Kevin Costner's character, who is a pitcher, his biggest game ever, his biggest challenge ever as a pitcher.
The very short description on IMDb is an aging baseball star struggles with personal and professional issues.
Gus catches, or I don't pitch. Me and Gus. Nobody else.
Indeed. And Kelly Preston is his love interest in this thing. The entire movie is sort of a journey of the development of their relationship, which goes forward 2 steps and back a step and forward a couple of steps and back 3 steps, and
Yeah.
throughout this movie. And
Without
it's,
giving too much away.
yeah. And it's him reconciling his love of the game with the person he knows he needs. And that's basically what the whole thing is about. And his struggle with reconciling those two things, and then the decision that he makes in the end that makes it work out
One way or another.
one way or another. So
And it is tough to really describe the action or the way the movie even works because of how it's structured. It's such a unique storytelling structure. And it's really, really well done. And I think I introduced you to this movie, right?
no,
I brought this
You may
movie
have,
to
you may
you
have.
at that Smoke on the Water one Sunday. Told you needed to watch it.
yeah, I think
Is
now
that-
that you mentioned that, I didn't want to give him credit for it, particularly after the other movie that we reviewed on this thing, Stardust, which
It's a teaser for another
Yeah.
another episode if you want to really watch me get paraded.
but this is just, and I'm not a huge, John is a huge baseball fan. I'm not so much, although I came out of a generation where baseball was the game. Football was not. When I was a kid, it was baseball. And even though I came up in that era, baseball was never, it was something, it was easy to play because all you needed was a glove and a ball and a bat and,
And not
a field.
friends.
A field, yeah. And 18 other people, 17 other people.
Lots of people. I mean, we grew up playing little league ball, but I mean, you could play baseball with like 6 people.
Yeah.
You know, and people
Oh, yeah.
are just gathered in all kinds of places.
Or even if there were 3 of you, somebody pitched, somebody hit,
Yeah.
and somebody ran around and picked up the balls.
It's a great country song about playing baseball with shirt rocks and using sawmill slats for bats.
Yeah, yeah. So baseball is not imprinted in my soul, but this is such a terrific, terrific movie. And John mentioned that Costner is part of what he considers the three of the biggest baseball movies of all time. One of which is
Field of Dreams we were just talking
Field
about.
of Dreams that we talked
And-
about before we rolled.
If you build it, he will come.
And Bull Durham.
Bull Durham.
I mean, those are, I think, almost inarguably in the top 5 baseball movies of all time.
And he's also, we've got Draft Day and our
Which is
old
not
guy,
a baseball movie.
I know, old guys. Well, you're on it today. In our playlist.
I came to that movie thinking I was going to be watching a baseball movie.
Yeah. But that's maybe my favorite football movie
let me do my
is
job.
Draft
Just
Day.
let me
You
do
never really see anybody play football in the
Right.
thing, hardly, other than in tapes that they're watching in scouting rooms.
I've read an article. It's one of the things that made me a subscriber to The Athletic. When I did become that 2 or 3 years ago, they made a list of the greatest sports movies of all times and ranked them. And one of the qualifications that they put on the thing is that in order to be considered in any real way for this list, the sport had to be integral to the story, that it couldn't exist any other way. And For Love of the Game was their number 1 sports movie of all time, which I was very pleased to find out because I already thought that it was for
I
me.
have no argument
Right.
with that.
And they didn't even include Bull Durham because they made the argument that it doesn't have to be about baseball. That could be a mentoring show. He could be mentoring anybody for any job. It just happens to be a catcher mentoring a pitcher. And it works. It's obviously about baseball, but it doesn't have to be about baseball. There is nothing, this movie can't be about anything but baseball.
Yep.
It can't exist without the game.
Yep. I told John when we were watching this last night that I was on the razor edge of emotions throughout that movie.
Yeah.
I have never, there are very few movies that have done that to me where I'm just teetering between, bawling my eyes
Yeah,
out.
joy and heartbreak.
Yeah,
It's the
and-
whole way.
Yeah, and you're on the razor's edge of that thing,
Yeah,
which is
it
another
never
reason.
lets you go.
Yeah, which is another reason why it's one of my favorite movies of all time. John, anything else?
I know we're running out of time, and I don't have a whole lot else to say. I think we covered a bunch, so I think we can probably wrap this thing up.
All right, I'm all for that.
All right, let's do it. 2 hours of the best movies in the world.
So damn lucky. See you next time.